convenient for both you and the users. You know, and of course, generally it makes today's reality of a global economic village possible. You can do whatever you want to do from here. Those of us who do valuation, so I say some other value, and you see that if you require information on any machinery from Japan, you can get information from here. Google can possibly tell you anything you want to know. It's amazing that whatever you feed into Google. I was going to my village, I went to my village in December, and it's amazing that even neighboring villages are covered by Google. You can with Google map go from village to village. It's amazing what technology can do. And so it made today's reality of a global village very possible. It's changed the way we do things, from factories to agriculture to medicine to transportation. Medicine is actually very, very amazing that doctors can perform operations from different countries that are watching it being done. So it's made life easier for everybody. It's created a knowledge-driven world economy. Knowledge. Key. That's why you talked about Facebook, you talked about Uber. There are people driven by, they don't own no factories, but they've done so well in terms of what they do. Created extensive networking capabilities that have changed the world for the better. Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and others. Those of us who follow American politics will know what the US president can do with Twitter. He wakes up early in the morning and he says what Twitter and everybody's shaking. He won't send an email to you. He won't call a press conference. He's not interested. He just wakes up by 4:35 and he sends a Twitter and the world is shaking. All the enemies are scattering. Everybody is. That's what technology has done. You know, again, I don't know about you. As Paul also mentioned, we've gone from a country where landlines, we have about 400,000 landlines all over the country. When I started practice in 1987, Nigeria had about 400,000 landlines. And I'm sure at this given time, a quarter or half of them will be working. So think of how far we've gone. That today we have over 150 or 160 million mobile handsets, all working. Technology companies have also gained prominence all over the world. In fact, the data shows that about 50% of the 10 most profitable companies in the world are tech companies. From the Facebook, from Microsoft to Apple to Amazon, they are doing so well. And these are just tech companies, you know. So the world has been changed for the better by technology, and a lot more is still being done. As something like the MC talked about disruption, the disruptive capacity of technology is immense. I mean, think of what apps and software have done in this world. I mean, I was somewhere last week when we were discussing about Dangote and how he monopolizes the economy. And I told you that it's not the only one doing so. I mean, if you look at Microsoft, for instance, that virtually every laptop you have carries the Microsoft component. You know, it is the measure of the work they've done that the world relies on that software. I mean, a lot of us can do so much, but then what are you doing in your small corners? Again, it's so more often than not, we believe it's difficult or it's impossible to change. Also sitting there, I was told by somebody who doesn't still use WhatsApp today, and they sit to real estate. He doesn't believe it will affect him, but it's affecting him on a daily basis. Change is possible. So if you haven't changed, you have to keep to be changed. I mean, look at all apps and software. People are doing so much. Of course, I'm glad that a lot of young people in Nigeria are keen into it for the better. We can do so much with apps. These days, there's an app or a software for virtually everything. And that's what technology has done for all of us. You know, there are app-driven businesses that we talked about. Look at Copa. You mentioned it before. They don't have any car of their own, but the biggest taxi cab company in the world. Now it's common to call Uber or to call Taxify. It's all the same pattern. And they're doing so well, driven by app. Look at Airbnb. They get no house of their own. They lease the most properties in the world. And I tell you, the idea was not already. So we must adjust to the changes that they will bring. I mean, Google answers practically all questions. There's nothing you ask Google I cannot answer. Google and ask the road by the she'll tell you how to get there. And you'll get there. You know? Amazon, Alibaba, global marketplace, they don't own no shop, they don't own no inventory. They are doing so well. The power of art has changed the world for the better. You know, it also has enhanced identity technologies. I talked about new passports and VPNs for social insurance. Those of us who own so much money and think that we can hide from the government, we can't hide anymore even in Nigeria. banks. It's been done abroad for so many years. When you have a social insurance number in London, in America, or in Canada, or in Europe, with that same number, they can track every income you make, every account you have all over the country. And that's what is happening. Which is why when the banks are talking about global income these days, they know where they're going to. Because eventually and ultimately, I tell you, the income you make in Japan, or the one you make in Nigeria, or the one you make in whatever, you will be forced to declare whatever you make. Because they're able to track your global income. You know, new passport, there was a time when in this country, and most of the developed countries, stealing passport was the order of the day. These days, nobody bothers. If you drop your own here, nobody will bother to touch it, because it can't happen. Technology has made it impossible for the wrong person to use it. That's how far technology has gone. In Nigeria, we are playing catch up, but I assure you that we're doing very well. Very, very well in terms of IT. There are young people who have done so much and who are making so. You know, the service sector has grown, even though at an informal level, but it's grown tremendously in Nigeria. There are young Nigerians who, I watched a young boy at a computer village dismantle one of these phones and couple it back. And the guy didn't go to school. He didn't go to Harvard or any school. But he did it there and the phone was working. You know, so Nigeria is playing catch up for them by doing very well. And for those of us who claim that it's difficult for Nigeria to catch up, don't make no mistake, we are catching up. I mean, I got information that e-payments is growing in Nigeria. When did we start e-payments? Just a couple of years ago. But last year, between January and September, e-payments in Nigeria were about 56 trillion naira. ATM transactions in growing in this country within the same period is about 4.76 trillion. What does it tell you? It shows that even Nigeria is moving forward. Kids order food and Uber meal or whatever they call it and it's delivered. When I tell my kids to buy food to the market, to go to the shop, they say no. What I online is getting delivered. I haven't gotten used to it, but I must get used to it. Because that's the way the world is doing. The fact that things have changed is key. I want people to know that. Real estate. You know, we are privileged to get in real estate. We often used to joke when I was in council that this is about and valuers or legends like you and I. We are privileged to be the only group of professionals who have work in heaven. Because when the scripture says that in my father's house, there are many houses. If you can also have told you, what it means is that we have work reserved for us. But then if you don't do well there, you may not get there. So I like to go to heaven and have a permanent work with you. You know? But it's a very key component of any economy. It's used to determine how well the economy is doing. And it's a major contributor to the GDP in developed countries. Indeed, if you are used to how the last global recession came about in America, it was housing. The housing bubble, when it burst, the economy collapsed. Because they were lending money at zero deposit. Once the economy declined a little bit, the man could not afford to pay back and the economy collapsed. So housing is a key component of any economy. If you check our own economy here in Nigeria, the reason why we're not doing so well is because we're not paying attention to the issue of land and housing. Because the housing sector has immense multiplier effects. You can ask Mr. MD of land on a typical construction site, the number of workers that work there, the number of suppliers, the number of activities that will take place there. So imagine if we have immense activities going on all over the country, construction-wise, the country will be doing very well. So it's a key component of any economy. Indeed, it is said to be the largest commodity in the world, with an estimated value, which of course I know is a lot higher, of $470 trillion. Land has value. It doesn't matter where the land is, or where the house is, whether in your village or in my village, or in Lagos or in Japan, it's got a value. You know, so it's a key component of what we do. Yesterday just practice, and this is very key because I'm sure all of us here yesterday just one word. I will sell, I will lease, I will help buy for clients, I will help sell for owners. You know, we've gone from just to let boss. When I left school again, 1987, all we were doing was carrying to let boss all over the place. Metal ones or wooden ones in those days. So you place it on the house, somebody calls you, go to show him. If you want to go and get information from my what you have to call out there and go, you have to leave the office and go there. But like I said, only the last night you are working. And there were very few of them. So it was a case of leg. You have to use your leg to get there and get the information. All that was again changed. So we've gone from those records to an era that is digital, where from your office you can get information. You have all manner of platforms where you can get information as to what's available in KJ and Google and all that. So from the comfort of your office, you're able to serve your clients better. Created a faster and easy information flow. Instead of just spending on information, and I'm sure you know that get information faster. Technology has made it possible. The phone, your smartphone is more like your workhouse. You can wake up in the morning and from your phone you can send information to everybody. I wake up every morning and I receive listings of all the most places from different platforms on my WhatsApp. And I'm sure we all do so. You may think it doesn't work, but I tell you, many transactions are being completed using that platform. And it's only a matter of place to place. It's gradually changing. And if you haven't keyed into it, please key into it. You know, you now have very faster marketing online marketing tools. You have the multiple listing service. We will talk about it for you guys, of all of us here. Because that's the key technology that all these agents must use. What is a multiple listing service? It's a technology where all of us, as agents, will have a platform where we list all our products. If we do, it means that Mr. A from Kenya, or if you want a three-bedroom flat in BI, he just gets. He gets a three-bedroom flat in BI, inlet by Mr. B, he contacts Mr. B, and transactions can be done. The good thing about it is that because nobody gets on that platform if it's not regulated, so you know who you're dealing with. You know it's from a good source. And when you conclude, because it's regulated, it's that's right, that platform will pay you your fee, or the internet will pay you your fee. That is the way it is done. That's the basic technology of agency. Of course, we're not there yet, but we must get there. Because we can't be doing it the other way around. You know, it is doable and it can be done. And I work with many online offices there. Not everybody good. You know, but we must go beyond the general listing of properties to a regulated platform. Regulated platform because what it is that anybody joining the platform has an address, is registered, can be tracked. So the idea of somebody listing what they doesn't have will not arise. I tell you, it's not rocket science. In the UK, all parts of the law world are against war. And Mr. Chairman of AEAN, that's where we must get to, hopefully, in the near future. It's technology has revolutionized. You see what you're offering before they leave the office, either through pictures or videos. And I'm using it very well. But we can still yet do more. I received a young man in the office a couple of months ago. His only work is doing virtual tours of buildings. So you call him and he will do a virtual tour. And he will show technology is now so that with 3D technology, not only will you see the house, you can see the surrounding streets. So that the man from his house or his office exactly what he wants. He sees the house on the street, he sees the surrounding streets, you know what the neighborhood looks like. Technology is already available for that. And like this guy demonstrated how it's done. So these days you can actually do a 3D virtual tour of 10 problems and choose somebody. And if you call it what he wants. And I called my friend telling me a story about they got their last house. His wife was pregnant and couldn't leave the house. Just couldn't leave for inspection. Actually, it was through this virtual tour. When she just kept showing the wife the options. I wondered the woman saw the one she liked, inspected the house several times online. Eventually that's where they live today. So don't say it doesn't work. It works. It's made life easy for people and it's working very well. And in fact, the good thing about it, I like kidding technology. That's why I told you about the young guy who all he does is document virtual tours of people. He doesn't do anything else. And I tell you, he's feeling his family well. He's doing well, because the market can only grow. Eventually, even those who are looking to it will key into it. You know, prospects can keep properties in true life definition, which is key for the comfort of their office or their homes, to make life easier for them. You know, digital measurement system, the use of tapes and all that is already going extinct. I mean, in our younger days, we had to carry tapes and make one person will be there, one person will be there. That's no more. Technology has also made that irrelevant or gradually making irrelevant. You know, Google Map. I mean, like I told you about my village, from village to Islam, I used to wonder how you guys achieve this. That you can go from village to village using Google Map and take you to the village. I used to wonder, how did they get to do that? Well, that is how far technology has gone. And of course, it's going further and further. There are software that are virtually edited. There's nothing you don't have a software for. One has been developed, is broken down. From facility management to video conference and online meetings, to property management and lease management softwares, to online marketing apps and search optimization tools. All these are available. Trainings are now being done online. And we must key into it. And now I belong to the RIC, African Market Panel. And the meetings that we hold are held online. We used to go to Global maybe 3-4 times a year. We said, no, we don't have the time. And even the RIC didn't have the resources for that kind of whatever. So the report of the meetings are not held on. Just log in whatever, and the meetings are held. It can be same for you and your clients. Even WhatsApp has made it easier. These days you can even go video conference with your clients. The key thing is, and it doesn't cost so much. There are many things that some of us always think this costs so much money. I always feel bad when I send a message to somebody and they tell me, you didn't see the message. I say, why? I say, because it doesn't have big data. I said, you can't build this business if you don't have data. How much does data cost? We must invest where it matters in those things that will make our businesses better. Because if you're not able to send the message to your client, to send the video to your client, to send the video because you don't have data that will cost you 200 or 1,000, it's a problem. Because how would you keep into what we're talking about if you don't have the data? Trainings, webinars are done from the comfort of your home. You do whatever. And it's because we're not challenging what we call CPDs. Ordinarily, all of us here should not be registered every year if we have not attended certain levels of training. But I'm sure we'll get there. Those trainings can be physical, like we're doing here, but it can also be online. It can also be such that if we don't like, the key thing is to ask, to help you be educated in ways to do things. Because why do we say that? Because technology is changing every day. And it's our duty to key into it, to learn and relate, to keep learning. In fact, the RIC calls it a lifelong learning process. So if you think that because you got your degree in business management or whatever degree you got, that you can go back home and sit down, it doesn't happen that way. Every profession has to keep learning. And ours is not an exception. One of the greatest innovations of technology has been in the same time is that of the electronic signature, where transactions can be concluded between a man in the UK and a man in the US. They finish and they sign, and it's genuine and authentic. It doesn't need to travel from Washington to London. It just signs, and believe me, it's an authentic transaction that is finished. It can be done. People have gone to embassies here to sign. People have signed before lawyers, but you can now do so in the comfort of your home and office. This is right now. Of course, there's also the issue of the titles. E-titles for land and properties. I recall going to a conference in Abuja a couple of months ago, and I met a man from Rwanda who headed their land reform commission. And he said, look, that Rwanda has gone from zero title registration to 100% title registration in Rwanda. What it means that every land in Rwanda is registered. And if you have the right app from the comfort of your phone, you can check the title position of every land. So if you see plot 10 at the end of the day, and you have the right app, you log in plot 10 at the end of the day, it will tell you who owns the land. Your own phone. That's what the law has done. Of course, we are very far from India, but we'll get there. Websites, I don't know how many of us have websites. You must cultivate and maintain an online presence to tell people who you are. You must not just maintain it, you must update it. You must keep changing so that people don't see the same story. The good thing about online presence is that, unlike the physical one where change can be difficult, changing the content of your website should take time. You must keep updating it. That's the only way you can become the person to visitors. If a man goes to your website today and you have 10 properties, and he gets there in 6 months, the same 10 properties are there. He gets there in 1 year, the same 10 properties, nothing has changed. You won't go back there again. So apart from saying the online presence, you must update, and it's easy. It's from your office, from the comfort of your home office. That way you're managing your brand better. So if you took a picture wearing a suit today, smiling, you can take another one wearing an abaya, you can change that way. It's all part of the rapatas for this business. And we have to let the kids know it. In the property development sector, which I'm sure somebody will talk about in detail, the use of technology in the actual building process has done so much to change our thought process from idea to completed structure. I mean, if you see what designs are done, I'm involved in the design of the project. The project is being designed by an architect in Lebanon. And we keep going through it. You see, I mean, it's amazing what computer-aided design apps can do. Because all you do is do what they want, and it gives you options of design and what they could be. That way you're able to achieve smarter designs, more efficient designs, and of course you know that construction has gone beyond what brick and mortar. These days we're talking about green buildings, energy efficiency, water efficiency, all manner of efficiencies that can make the running costs lower and better for the owners. These are all things that technology can achieve. And it's achieved. I mean, I'm glad again that the AP of LLM is here. Because so much can be done in that area, you know. Before now, what we look at is just a building. What about the running cost of the building? What about the future maintenance cost of the building? You know, if I live in an estate where we have 100% power, here's 100% power, you know, but it costs so much money. So now we're looking at changing our bulbs, even the street light, we're changing the energy saving bulbs. We're investing so much money to change the infrastructure to accommodate the cost. But then, all those can be done from the design and construction stage. If you do it from the very beginning, it costs less. But then it means that the design must incorporate those energy saving or water saving or whatever, those efficiencies to ensure that the running cost and maintenance cost will be minimal. You know, those are things that technology has helped us achieve in property development. Two life structure, what the building is like. You know, I recall a friend of mine who is from Imo State. He was building a house in his village. You know how architects will design a structure, show you the paper and his hard music. And the man was driving home to go and see the house. And on the way he looked at the house, he knew he was close to the house, but he wasn't sure. He was looking at a massive structure in front of him. He was saying, who owns that house? Who is doing that? He said, but that's your house. He said, no, it's not possible. He said, but that's your house. What happened that the man, it is difficult for you to appreciate drawings on paper. They are showing him the drawing on paper and he thought he had a good design. By the time he saw the humongous structure, he was amazed. But the 3D design will make it easier for you to appreciate what it's going to. And that 3D design is key because if you appreciate exactly what you are going to have, it's easier for you to appreciate it better and at least to understand what you're investing in. You know, again, project management process, the actual construction process has improved so much. When I left school again, project management had to do with more of holding meetings, award a contract, and come and hold side meetings. Today it has changed fundamentally. The procurement process alone is a discipline that is gaining ground, or has gained so much ground. Logistics and supply chain management is incredible. In fact, I recall reading about the airport industry in Paris in France. They don't even have a big warehouse. You know, they manufacture the airport space, but they don't have a big warehouse. What it means is that the logistics and supply chain have been planned in such a way that whatever they need leaves the supplier's warehouse and gets there at the time when it's needed. So if they need to install the wing or it will leave and arrive at the factory just when it is needed. What does it do for them? They don't have a big warehouse where they store all manner of things. That is how far this supply chain management has gone. Material testing, contract management, better plan and execution. Driving the evolution of happy cities. A year ago when the buy for the Glasgow conference on happy cities, these are realities of the time. Because eventually people want to live in an environment where things can blend, where everything can complement each other. You know, where the parks can have green grasses and where the streets are cleaned up. Technology in a way is bringing all these things together. Again, you can say that Nigeria is far from it. I agree. We're getting there. It's only a matter of time. And professionals want to keep doing it. In the area of investment, which is key, essentially the point of decision making, to help us make decisions faster. Technology provides data that make decision making faster and easier. You have the right data, you can make the right decision. Whether you are deciding to invest on an apartment block here, or a flat in Hawaii, or anywhere, you require data that will help you to make that decision. And I tell you, technology has made it easier, not only because you can get it for your friends easily, but you can also source for it online and get it. Like I talk about, if I want to know the current trends in the market, by checking my phone about all your files I get every morning, I have an idea of what the rent is going to rent passing very low, various specifications. And I'm sure same is for all of us here. It also reduces the scientific decision-making process through the availability of data. Data is key. As an institution, I know that it's talking about data and working on it to provide standardized data for investors. I'm glad the second vice president is here and I'm talking about that, but the idea that data is key in everything that we do. And we must know that as professionals, part of the work we do, it's not just to make money. It's not just to make money and put in our pocket. We want to play a role in making this profession more standardized. The way to do it is not that when you sell a house in Oakland, you don't want anybody to know how much you sold the house because you don't want them to calculate the agency fee. You know? So you sell it and you have the profession. By doing so, you're not helping the industry to grow, to develop. I mean, which is why MLS is important, because when you sell to an MLS, you end up retiring the sale and the sales figure is known. So I like to encourage you. If you sell and you not tell Mr. A how much you sold, then Mr. A will not know what the going rate is because yours may be most current sale. But if you hide information from Mr. B, then it's a problem. We must go beyond that. We must go beyond that kind of practice. You know. Software and apps for investment analysis. A lot of things are now done. I mean, in those days they came when we left school. You had a banking calculator table. You have to start using. These days, the average banker uses calculators very sparingly. A lot of apps now exist for whether they discounted cash flow, the risk analysis, the mortgage, and that's how far technology has gone to help us in decision making, to ensure that we do our risk analysis very, very properly. Overall, technology has changed the real estate sector for the better because you have a lot more data to work with and you're able to achieve better results for your clients. And of course, you have a wider audience and wider market. I mean, now you can deal, the man in Kenya can easily deal with the ones in BI. I recall that many years ago, it was better for you to establish your business all over the place. Why? Because it was difficult to cover neighborhoods. It's a lot easier to cover those neighborhoods today. Because like I said, with the online platform, you're able to do all that. Of course, you can achieve more sales and make more money for yourself. You have easier access to information. And of course, you have global possibilities. And I mean global possibilities. I mean, I'm aware of people from Nigeria who do deals in London, who do deals in Dubai. This can be done because of technology. I must key into it. You know, the idea of believing that it cannot be done shouldn't arise. Things are changing and things will continue to change. So it's best that we key into it. In conclusion, again, the market is changing. Like they say in America, the game is out of the bottle. There's no way back. Technology can only go forward. Even though I believe that ultimately, technology cannot replace the human leadership that we can share. It's always good to talk to somebody and slap the crack. But then we must appreciate the importance of technology in day-to-day life. There's no way back. It can only get better. It can only improve. So if you have not joined the back button, please follow and join. I call it to a friend of mine many days or many months to let you to send SMS. Or today you can do all that. You can use WhatsApp. And they are seeing that it can be done. It's free. No matter how old you think you are, no matter how so, nobody's ever too old. Again, I was discussing on that same board about a 93-year-old man. About a 93-year-old man who uses the eye synced onto all the other ones. The man is about 93 years old. And he's doing that. I'm sure that none of us here is close to that. So if a 93-year-old man can achieve that, please key into it. If you have not done so, stop sweating on Adelo Leku Street or Awolowo Road. There are things you can do from your offices. Don't bother. You know, I keep telling my own colleagues in the office, part of what we must learn is not to rush out for any inspection. There are the ones you can do with information that can be supplied on your phone. A man cannot tell you once a flat in Okota and you rush out immediately. Like to go and walk the streets of Okota sweating. The image of the agent is not the guy who sweats on the road. We must change that image. If you work well with technology, you can change that. You can dress well. You want the agent to do it and do so if you don't get involved in those day-to-day running around. Because with your phone, you can do a lot better. But how do you use your phone? How do you use what you have if you don't have the technology? Again, it's not rocket science. A 93-year-old man is very comfortable with it. There's no reason why you and I should not have it. You know? Bodies like AEAN should keep training and engaging members on new technologies that can help their business. Encourage lifelong learning process. I mean, abroad, I must tell you, any new technology that comes out, the real estate board or the local estate agency organization train their members to how to use it. So if members around so much, I've come to learn that knowledge is power in school. And you know, it's not exactly those who work very hard, who believe they work very hard and make money. You have to know how to use what you have. You know, one message that stopped on my head was the one that rich men seek after knowledge. What people look for money. So when you see Bill Gates, he's reading all manner of books, he's reading all manner, he's seeking for knowledge. Why? Because if you've got the knowledge, you have the money. But the poor man is looking for money, believing that solution. It never happens. So please, AEAN, let's do more training for our members to equip them, encourage them. You know. But as I conclude, I talked about the multiple listening service earlier, and I'd like to encourage us as a body that with our numerical strength, with the number that we got, if we key into a multiple listening service as a body and come together, whatever body that we all join can become a marketplace for real estate in this country. I'm aware that if AEAN can work with knives and all key into the knives multiple listening service, believe me, over time, in 2Y, whatever platform that we all join, because of our numerical strength, will become the central marketplace for what is in this country. And basically, we don't do that. We rather go to Push.com or go to Jumia.com or can support the one that does so. Because if we do, it means that we're supporting one that is regulated and well set up. Like I said, it protects you and protects me. Landlords now will take advantage of you. Tenants will take advantage of you. You are dealing on property that you know are closable. The challenge is that a quarter of the properties in the market are not closable. More often than not, all manner of agents send information that will lead you to a brick wall eventually. But if we all have a proper regulated MLS, it means that whatever is feeding doing, you can vouch for the source. It means that you know you're not working and sweating for nothing. So I like to join us that a basic technology for all agents all over the world, a basic platform for trading is a multiple listening platform. And we can join and team up with knives, create a marketplace for real estate. And in the end, that data that we're talking about becomes easier to source. Why do I say so? Because it's regulated. When you do a sale, I retire the sale, the final price will be there. So that in 1 year, 2 years, you want to check all flags that were sold in the Kenya, you key into it, all the flags sold in the Kenya will be there, the price will be there. It will end up in 10 years, the issue of data will be another part because it's there, providing everything to stabilize for. I like to encourage us, the chairman of AEAN, let's work on this. And I like to encourage all of us, if you haven't joined, please key into it. It will help your business, it will help the profession as a whole, and it will be very good for the country. Thank you very much.
Round of applause, please.
While the presentation is the Naib's president, I would just like to acknowledge him, ESB John Bull, Ayamobe.
Stand on an already established protocol. I want to, on behalf of our 23rd president, Estate Surveyor Mbaloa, Roland Abonta, welcome you all to this 3rd annual conference of Association of Real Estate Agency of Nigeria. I came in when a powerful lecture was going on, I know that my president was supposed to give an opening remark, but when I listened to the message from our past president, Emeka Ele, I just concluded that I have nothing to say. Because it's just like repeating what he has said. He gave us a detailed lecture. I want to let you know that for you to succeed in this business, there are three key things you must subscribe to. 1, technology. 2, technology. And 3, technology. So he has been able to take us through as an estate agent. Please go back at your leisure time, go through what he has presented. And just as he said, issue of data is very important. It's very key. The era of maybe you are discussing with a client or you're having a meeting with a client, an agent will introduce somebody, you don't, some agents will not allow you to give a card to his own client. That era has gone. Yes. And so we need to know all consummated transactions. It will help you, it will help me. Just like at our annual conference, the last annual conference, let me say here that it is on record that the president that had done so much on issue of data collection in our profession in Nigeria is no other person than Emeka Ele. I was in council then, I remember, he was sourcing for funds to make sure. At that time, we had data all over Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. But thank God, the current administration is also doing a lot on that. And that was why, you remember at the annual conference, when the minister came, our president presented to the minister the data value of Abuja metropolis. Hopefully, with your assistance, we should be able to gather enough data. It will help us, it will make our work easier. You should be ready to share your transaction. As I said earlier, I don't want to take so much of your time. I know that we still have some speakers. And by the grace of God, I know that we all live here more enriched. And I wish you all a wonderful and successful conference. Thank you.
A few house rules. Mobile phones, Okay, what we'll do now is, I'm sure people have a lot of thoughts. Note them down. We'll get to the question and answer session shortly. I would like to invite to give us his thoughts and experiences. He's the managing director of one of the largest real estate construction companies in the country. His name is Mr. Andrea MP AEAN Construction Nigeria.
My name is Andrea from AEAN Construction Company. We have been in Nigeria since 1982 and active since 1984. We've just come on the scene visibly in the last few years, maybe like 7-8 years ago, when we started building landmark projects and stuff like that. We've grown from a very, very small company to a sizable multi-company group. Our activities range from construction, MEP, facilities management, woodworks, vocational training. So we cover the whole value chain of development. We've also been active in real estate development since maybe 20 years. Our first project was in 1992-93. Now the effects of technology on all of this is humongous, as everybody knows. But it is the pre-construction phase that has been highly affected, and the post-construction phase. The construction itself has not been affected as much by technology. The construction process is still the same. We still need bricklayers, we still need steel fixers, we still need painters, and it is still a manual process, although it has evolved, but it has not developed as much as the pre-construction phase that the President was talking about. In the olden days, it used to take us maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and $10,000 to produce one rendering, one picture like of a development. Today, we can do multiple variations of any development. We simulate it on computer, we show it to the client, and once he makes up his mind, then we go into detail, we price it, we build it, we sell it, we market it. So the pre-construction phase has evolved tremendously. No limits to that. The simulations of costs, price, and all of that used to take us months to do. Today, we just build a model and we do sensitivities and risk analysis and so on, and we know exactly what's going to affect the construction, where are the risks, and we mitigate against them, and we start the construction. For us, it's always been to find the right product, target the right people, and determine the price we can sell it at. And technology has helped us in getting to that stage. The post-construction phase, again, we've spoken about everything that is virtual reality, virtual visits, all of that stuff. People don't need to see drawings anymore. I have a lot of clients who know nothing. They will look at the drawing and they say, okay, what is 10 square meters? How big is 10? How big is this? They don't understand the drawing. They will only understand pictures. And this is where technology comes in. So when we simulate that, when they can wear a mask and they can walk through a room and they see how big it is, how well it's finished, where are the exits, the windows, and so on and so forth. So that post-construction has also evolved tremendously, but the construction process itself is still there. What I see in the future is maybe they're talking about 3D printing, so you can have a printer to build the whole house. There are sample projects that are being done. 5G technology will come in, so all the machinery can be driverless, the excavators can work on their own, the cranes can work on their own, all of that. All of this will come, but I guess the process itself of laying the tiles will still have to be manually done. It cannot be, maybe robots, I don't know, but it's still far in coming. So that is what I think now. Currently today we are active, we have several projects in Lagos. We do a lot of design and build developments, where we do offices, we do residentials, we do industrial. Our most luxurious residential development is in Ikoyi. It's a tower of 110 meters high, 41 flats, so highly luxurious. And it has 41 flats that have been sold off plan in the middle of the recession. And that is because we've hit on market that is not looking for investment. This is a class of people who are looking for flats to live in, irrespective of the price. They want somewhere, they've been coming from New York, from London, from this. They want the same standard here in Lagos, and they are ready to pay the price for it. So they are paying, it's an expensive development, but very few owners, and that niche of people are there. We are doing another development in Oniru, which is for the middle class kind of thing, and that middle class now is debatable. What is middle class in Nigeria? People earning what? But it is not what we do in Borderon. These are flats that are priced from 40 million naira to 100 million naira. 1 bed, 2 bed, 3 beds, and so on 4 hectares of land for the shopping mall with recreational facilities like swimming pools, tennis courts, so on and so forth, the basement. So a middle kind of management, not too expensive. That same development in Ikoyi will have cost maybe 5 times that price. So we are here touching a market that is new to us, and we are doing this development in association with the African Capital Alliance, one of the first private equity funds in Nigeria. So I think this is what I have to say on the construction side.
I think that's Joshua who would have 2 presentations.
If I said one.
One from Sunday to last for another 15-20 minutes. Then we'll have Roberta who say of he also mentioned during his presentation about virtual reality and having what goes on, especially for clients that don't understand 2 or 10 square meters. So let's get our questions ready so that we can throw that and gain a lot from Israel. Okay, we have Roberta 1. Who else? Sorry,
I'm Way, and I'm an estate agent and managing director of Madinga Real Estate. First of all, thank you very much for your presence and for representing the developers and contractors in Nigeria. I have a question. I mean, we see your project, like you explained very well, like Bordelon, number 4 Bordelon, where you tapped into the right market and was able to sell it fast enough and well enough. And I want to know, how do you use data to make sure that you're giving the right product to people?
It would be fantastic if we could tap into some database to give us incomes, ages, locations, and stuff like that. Everything we're doing by gut feeling, really. But today we don't know. I don't know. And I don't think there are reliable figures that will give me the earnings of what the middle class is in Nigeria. And there was a report published by McKinsey a long time ago setting it at $500 a month. Some other reports come below this. Today I don't know. There are no tools for this. I think they are being developed. We go through the internet, we do private surveys. But the high end is just a gut feeling. We know that there's a niche. We know that there is money in the market. It is not spread. It is not distributed. But Nigeria is still producing those 4 million barrels, and that money is somewhere. It may not be everybody, but it will come out somewhere.
My question for you, sir. You are into construction. One of the greatest problems we have in this country today is the cost of the price of the finished products of your work, houses. How have you been, or are you going to use technology to reduce the price of construction? Cost of construction.
Thank you. I think the biggest problem is really not cost. The biggest problem that we face in the industry is technical skills.
Is what?
technical skills. People there are not enough people qualified to work in the construction industry. It's as simple as that. We have to set up our own school. We have a vocational school called AEAN, and we train electricians, air conditioning technicians, bricklayers, plasterers, people like that. We don't have to do that. We are not in the training business. We are not in the education business. We shouldn't be involved in this, but we've had to because we cannot find good work to do anything. So when you have to outsource, then it will cost you more. Then your cost of materials in Nigeria are extremely expensive. Your bag of cement that was costing $10 when the Naira was at 160 was selling at $4.50 anywhere else, and in India below $2. And this is locally produced cement. Okay, today I think the bag is at, I don't know, 2006 or 2007, something like that, but it is still more than double the price elsewhere. Everything else is imported. Okay, the local materials are just granite and cement. Everything else is imported. So I don't see how. I was just explaining to my friend here what the minimum cost is. I can give you exactly how much the concrete structure will cost, and there is no two ways about it, unless you start reducing cement and then you have collapsed buildings. But that is non-negotiable. This is what you're going to spend if you want to build. As simple as that. Or you can save technology. Yes, you automate the process, you train people, they work faster, but labor is just below 15% of your total cost of construction. It's not humongous, it's not huge. The bulk of the cost is in materials. Steel reinforcement, the same thing. I think we pay a ton of steel, 260,000 naira a ton or 270,000 naira a ton. Worldwide prices are below $500 a ton. So everything in Nigeria is more expensive. To clear a container from Apapa, clearing only, that's not official fees. This is just to pass a container. It's 600,000 naira today for 20 tons of whatever, whether it's tiles or 600,000 to clear. This is not beauty. This is nothing. Just to get it out, and it will take 2 months. I don't know how costs can be reduced. It's a national issue.
It's a tough one. Thank you. It's tough.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Ms. Andrea, for the presentation. My name is Ike Benedict. I'm a realtor. I would like to find out what is your suggestion regarding solution to data. You mentioned data being one of your greatest challenges. What's your solution to solving that problem?
Look, what's the average occupancy rate of existing buildings? I would love to know what's in the pipeline in terms of development. How many buildings are in the planning process? How many square meters of each type of building, by location, by this, by that? This will help us then to target where to develop, what to develop, and for who to develop. That is not available now. I think Lagos State has started accepting planning drawings by AutoCAD. I'm not sure if the approval process is done by AutoCAD. I know in Cape Town, you submit your drawing within 2 weeks, they are approved. And this is all done by technology. Here it's still catching up, but it will come. It's not that it's not coming, it will. But the data that we need is all of this, basically statistics. We need to know vacancy rates, occupancy rates, types of buildings, quality of build, earnings, you name it. I mean, it's just to know, okay, we're developing in the development we're doing in Oniro. The costs are 40 million, but how many people can afford that? And how can they get these mortgages? Mortgages are at 19%, that's the minimum. 19% is loan sharking, it's not a mortgage. It means your loan will double in 4 years. So I know nobody can afford to borrow money to build or buy. So yeah, data for us is fundamental, and we don't have it yet.
Please, I want to find out what is the challenges, because everything about development about real estate, you people that do development of it, lies in Lagos. What is the provision you people are making for other states, like for instance, River State, somewhere like Bayelsa, because I only see one company really striving and have been successful, which is staff. So what is the provision you people are making to move into other states? Thank you.
In developments, our area of expertise is Lagos. We've not ventured outside of Lagos. We've focused on Lagos because basically all the money is here. Money is produced in Abuja, yes.
When Abuja is there.
But the biggest boom in Ikoyi, the rental market in Ikoyi, was when the rise of kidnapping happened. This is when all the oil companies brought their staff to Lagos and rents went up $80,000 and $100,000. I'm saying that the biggest boom we've had in the rental market happened when there was a big rise in kidnapping and in criminal activities in the oil-producing areas, because most of the oil-producing companies repatriated their staff to Lagos, and demand went sky high, and rents went up to $100,000 for a 3-bedroom flat. That you cannot see in Port Harcourt.
We have Gulf State, we have Big Reserve, issue of the security, please. I know we had about 2, 3, 4 years ago when we have this issue of insecurity in River State. But I will assure you that has dropped virtually around the country today. We have insecurity. And one of our greatest challenges is when you can come up in the public and say, I bought this phone for 400, I bought it for 200,000. What are you doing? Why the next neighbor there is an hungry man? He will go after you. Or whatever. He will go after you. So please, I want people to also at least reshape and make provision for those areas, because we into the agency in other parts of the state are suffering. And we see everybody rushing back to Lagos. But sorry to say this, from my statistics that I've looked traveling outside and in, we face several challenges in such cities. New York had such, where everybody were really pushing to New York. Today, there's some areas you can stay in New York because of the way, the traffic, the insecurity and the rest. So you should also try and make provision for us over there.
We actually managed this data in Port Harcourt for Shell, the Shell pension fund, CBFA.
Okay.
So they have something in an area called Elemo. And it's 70% vacant. 70. They're not able to rent it out. Because the rent is so high.
So I'd like to commend you on behalf of your Protect side and you're one of the foremost and more active companies in terms of enabling startups. And for me, my question to you would be, presently, how are you looking at working with startups within the property management ecosystem to help solve a number of challenges you mentioned in terms of customer experience, getting more data from customers? Because I know a number of us do this at this moment, like Estate Intel and myself. So it does be nice to get your view on that. And,
sorry, again, I don't get it.
Okay, sorry, no problem. So my question for you is how you are structured to partner with startups that build solutions for real estate. So, for example, you mentioned data, wanting to know about occupancy rates, wanting to know about income levels, and I'm saying there are about 4 or 5 startups in the property ecosystem in Nigeria that do this today. So I'm just asking how you partner.
We'd love to partner with them. who approaches us. We team up with a lot of people and we do. We're actually active in high-tech. We used to be part of soft solutions. We were the first people who developed a payroll and accounting package locally. So we love to partner with startups. The people who approach us, we're partnering with Fiverr. I don't know if you've heard of Fiverr. Brilliant idea. We are partnering with them for the water project. But if you have something, I'd love to discuss it.